Today we are hosting our 5th annual science fair. Very excited for our students and our parents. I think this is very important for our students simply because science needs to be a main factor in education. Our students spend a lot of time preparing for this specific day, especially working after hours to make sure that the experiments are worth presenting to the judges, and I think that they are really excited about it.
We have 6th through 8th grade students, and each of them completes a project that falls either into a physical science, life science, or math, engineering, and behavioral science. All of our students school-wide actually complete a project, and then we narrow that down to about 150 projects that are eligible for the science fair. So we choose projects that are unique and creative, have completely finished all of the steps of the scientific method. The purpose of these projects is, of course, to have students choose a topic that they're interested in and then investigate it from their question all the way through a conclusion with data to back that up. And so that's how they choose their top topics, and then we choose which of those are qualifying for the fair.
Okay, and tell me a little bit about how the fair goes, like the process, judging and all that.
So students have been working on projects for months, and they go through a pre-screening process with their science teachers, and then there's 100 projects here today, so they come and register for an hour. Judges come by, ask them questions, they have to present their projects. So it also helps with their public speaking, and then the judges bring their sheets to us in the data room, we tally them up, and then the award ceremony is at the end.
There'll be different winners from each category, several from each category, and then we have like best presentation, some honorable mentions, so we have lots of prizes to give out today.
Okay, and how did the students come up with their project?
A couple months ago, we, as science teachers, we took all the students to the computer lab, and we gave them a chance to look up some projects, do a little research to figure out which projects they were interested in. We gave them some ideas, we gave them some resources, but we really wanted them to pick the project so they could be invested in what they were doing and really get excited about doing a science fair project.
Okay, and why is this important to the students at Kenilworth?
First of all, KST is really concentrated in science and math, and so we really like to push science and math in middle school, so this has been an opportunity for them to really discover and experiment. And then also the kids like to show off their work, so they're really proud of what they've done, and this is their chance to show it off to their families and their friends and their teachers.
What types of projects are we going to see today?
All sorts. We have everything from how much salt makes an apple float to, can children tell the difference between candy and medicine? So we're going to see all different levels. We even have some students that have been working with some LSU professors and partnering with them on some really complicated research that we don't have the ability to do at school, that they have had the ability to go into these professors' labs and do research with the professors. So it's a really unique opportunity that is available to these students if they want, an extra challenge and bump up on their science fair project.
Can you tell me a little bit about the judging process? What do you base it on?
Mm-hmm. So there are different categories such as creativity, scientific thought that each project is judged on, and I always come in with a clear mind. I give each student the chance to tell me, explain their entire project, and then step back and kind of get a big look at the board and just make up my mind.
How long have they been preparing the project?
For some students, I know it's probably months before, and of course, if you want your project to be the best, you have to prepare longer than everyone else. So for a few months, they have been prepping for this.
And tell me a little bit about Kenilworth.
Kenilworth is a very important place to be for all students if you want to learn STEM, first of all. We're a charter school. We were taken over in 2008, I think, or 9, somewhere around there. And we are a public charter school where all our students are not district. We have students coming from everywhere. Our increasing enrollment shows that something good is going on here, education-wise, sports-wise.
And why is this important to the students' education?
First of all, it gets them excited about science because it's something that they pick. It's their idea. It's their own project. It's something they're going for, and they love the idea of a competition. And it's a project-based learning, which is really what we're trying to do, especially in the sciences, because they can see applied science. They can ask a question. They can answer the question by their own means, by doing their own experiment.
What kind of reactions have you seen from the students today?
Students are really excited. They want the judges to come by so they can talk about their projects. They're very proud of the work they've done.
I think the students who are present and get judged 3 or 4 times really enjoy it. They're all eager when you're walking, down the aisle. They're like, "Ooh, judge me, judge me," and I think that the more they do it, the more comfortable they become with the process, and also just with presenting and public speaking in general. So there's a lot of great benefits for the students themselves.
What kind of resources did the students have to assist them in the project?
So they have 2 weeks of class time in which the teachers are modeling each step of the scientific method for them. And so we do like a sample experiment at the front of the class to show them what we expect from them. And they will then have their templates to fill in for each step. After they finish that up at home, they come in and we actually type up all of the steps in our computer labs at school. So we're giving them the templates and the guidelines to make sure that they have a successful project. They are expected to get anything they need for the experiment at home, and of course we help out if necessary. And then they're able to get a display board from school that they put together with all of their typed up materials.
Did they have any educators assisting them? Where did they get their information from?
Yeah, so most of our students primarily work just with their science teacher in class. We do have a group of students who worked with LSU graduate students who helped them out with their projects, and they were actually helping the graduate assistants as well with something that they were investigating already. But most of our students just work with their teachers and the internet, of course, to kind of find some background information.
Tell me about your project.
Well, I'm doing my project on surface tension. And lots of people will spend their time calculating surface tension, but it takes too long. So I found a more accurate and fast way to calculate surface tension.
Okay, what was your favorite part about doing the project?
Pretty much calculating all the numbers.
Okay, and what do you plan to do when you grow up?
I will probably maybe be a scientist, maybe be a mathematician.
What is your project?
How to make solar power more efficient.
Can you tell me a little bit more about it?
Yes, ma'am. All right. So we tried to make solar power more efficient. Most people think that it's supposed to be flat down on the roof, but no, it's supposed to be at an angle in a certain direction. All right. So since it's not supposed to be flat, you have to use different measurements. We found that 30 through 75 was the best, and every direction but north was the best. Since we're in the southern hemisphere and the sun is not it's in the south but not in the north, so the sun doesn't show up in the north as much as it does in the south.
How did you come up with your project?
I joined the STEM program at the school, and they paired me with a professor, and we came up with the idea of working with solar power.
My science fair project is I'm working on synthesized solar cells and how to attract energy to make from the sun to make energy.
And why is that important?
Because if you use more energy from the sun, then it's actually better, and it's better for the earth too.
Okay, did you learn a lot working the project? What did you learn?
I learned that it's really cool to do science, and I learned that I want to say that Dyson, that you can use more than one to power something, and it's really cool.
Okay, and what was your favorite part about doing the project in the fair?
I worked with a grad student at LSU, and my favorite part was actually going there and doing the experiment. It was really fun.
What are your plans after Kenilworth?
I do sports mostly, but because I did this, I'm more interested in it, so I might continue to do this.
Why is this so beneficial to the student?
So, well, of course, half of our big focus here at Kenilworth is improving our test scores and showing that our students are learning each year, but the other half is making sure that they are gaining meaningful skills for the future, and that's a big piece that the science fair contributes to. We are giving students a chance to investigate something in the real world that they care about and are able to hands-on practice the skills that we're teaching from a textbook or from our class materials. They're actually practicing hands-on, and then that definitely pays off both in real-life skills and in end-of-year assessments.
Why is STEM important? What is it?
It is science, technology, engineering, and math. Basically, our students are always taught English, reading, social studies, not a lot in the area of science, technology, engineering, and math. So we want them to focus more on the STEM factor to get them better jobs in the future.
Why is STEM important to the student's education?
I think it is important to your students' education to get them better jobs in the future, and also to learn more about science and engineering, technology and math. Like I said, it's all, when you bring all factors together, you get better results in the end. So I think if they know science, if they know technology, engineering and math, someday they're able to be better leaders, they're able to work harder, and they're able to get better pay in the end.
Okay, and what are some of the types of projects you've seen today?
So there are three main categories. We've seen life science projects. I personally judge the physical sciences, which has a lot to do with physics and chemistry. So we saw I saw some pretty interesting projects, some related to like intensifying the reaction of bubbles. So they mix various chemicals with soap mixtures to see the longevity of the bubble and how big the bubble could be. And I particularly enjoyed another project dealing with an electromagnet, where a student created their own magnet out of a battery and some wire, and just some interesting projects.
What kind of impact do you think the science fair has on the students' futures?
I think it can be profound. I think the students who really get into science fair really sort of discover their own science passion. And I think that a lot of the students, if you ask them why they did certain projects, they have reasons why. One student, his father's an electrician, and he wanted to do a project that would impress his dad. And so I think that hearing those reasons and also showing the students that they're able to do these sort of interesting experiments can really make a lifetime of impact if the student really runs with it.
How did the students seem to feel about doing the science fair and the project?
The kids were really excited this year. This is my fourth year working with students for the science fair, and it seems like now the science fair has become like an accepted cultural thing at Kenilworth, and so they were very excited. The students who weren't chosen for the fair were a little disappointed because they still wanted to be here, and so this is a community event. We invite them to come and experience the fun even if their projects weren't chosen. So they were excited to show off all their hard work.
Okay, explain to me the process of the fair. How are the winners chosen? How many?
Yeah, so each project is judged 3 to 5 times by a group of judges from all over the community. LSU, Southern, professors from all over come and judge our students, and we collect their scores out of 100 points each, and then we average up all their scores during our public viewing time, and then we choose 3 winners for each grade level in each category. So first, second, third in life science for 7th grade. And then for our very best projects, we have a first, second, and third overall award. And those students receive, I believe, a big trophy and a gift card and all the praise that comes with being the best science fair project.
And where can people get more information?
Definitely on our website, kenilworthst.org. We have information posted before, during, and after our science fair each year. And also anytime you call the school, speak to any of our science teachers.